Today we will be reviewing the DCT OSSmosis 5 Service Manager Portal. This is the new application you will be utilizing to make any administrative changes to your DCT cloud phone system. On the left-hand side is where all navigation options will be for you to conduct your different changes within this application. I can see my name is highlighted here, and when I select on that, it will take me to the User Preferences page for my account. I can see my display name, my email address, language, and time and date format. But most importantly, your password can be adjusted at this location. There are password requirements when you go in and change your DCT Service Manager password. It must be 8 characters, contain 1 capital letter, 1 lowercase letter, 1 number, and 1 special character. Once your password is input and then confirmed, you can select on the Actions button in the bottom right-hand corner of your display to select the Save option to save the changes that were made. If no changes were needed, you can select on the X here to exit out back to this main screen. We do recommend everyone changes their password so that it is something secure that they can use at any time. All DCT customers are set up as an enterprise within the DCT OSSmosis 5 administrative portal. Below the enterprise option, you will see a location option. If you are a multi-site location, this is where you will see the available options of sites that you can go in and configure and make changes to. If I select on the drop-down, I can see the different locations set up underneath the DCT Enterprise, and I'm going to select on the DCT Training location. Below the location option, you will see the navigation menu that will provide you with the areas that you are able to make any changes or adjustments. Please note, you will see some items grayed out within this column if you are not subscribing to them or if they are back-end configuration options. The majority of the changes you will be making will be under the Telephony Setup menu. When I select on this from the navigation menu, it's going to pull up a listing of various tiles that I can then select on. Location, users, music on hold, schedules, hunt groups, and auto attendance are the key areas you will be making any adjustments or changes. The additional tiles on this screen will only be available if they are items that you are currently subscribing to. As we go through this session, I will be focusing on the main areas that all customers have, and there will be follow-up videos for any of the additional options that are more subscription-based. By selecting Manage on the Location tile, you can make some adjustments to the settings of a particular location within your enterprise. Some items will be grayed out as they are hard-coded on the back end to the group's configuration. One of the main things that is often changed within this location is the Transfer to Operator number. This is the default zero out option that can be programmed at the group level. So when 0 is pressed in a user's voicemail box, it transfers to this number. A user does have the ability to override this within their personal portal to change it to another location. Call processing policies are also adjusted within this area. This will allow you to outpulse a different caller ID based on the type of call that it is. You can choose between external calls, enterprise calls across your sites, or group calls within a specific location. You have the ability to choose outpulsing the individual user's extension or direct dial number, or using the group or department phone number. You can make a few additional changes by selecting on the Actions button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If utilizing the Anywhere settings, this portal will be configured at the time of activation. Emergency notifications can be edited from this location. The Emergency Notifications option allows for an email notification whenever 911 is called. We do recommend inputting an email address or a distribution list in this field so that you are notified when 911 is dialed from your location. I'm going to cancel out of this as I don't need to save those changes at this time. Additionally, within the Actions button, I can also update any blocked numbers at the location level. This is utilized if you have any nuisance callers that are continuing to call that you would like to block at the group level. By selecting the Add button, I can input the digit string of the phone number that I would like to block. I can choose to apply it to all locations or just the specific group that I am currently in. So 216-552-1211 will be blocked. By selecting Save, it will return me to the Blocked Numbers dialog box where I can see that that number has been added into the Blocked Numbers field. If I need to make adjustments to that specific telephone number, I can click on the three dots that will give me the options to block for just departments, unblock for departments, or I can remove the blocked numbers. I'm going to select Remove Blocked Numbers so you can see what that activity looks like. Here, I can confirm that I would like to remove that blocked number and select the Remove button. Those are the various options that can be configured within the location level itself. When you select on the Manage Users option, it will take you to a listing of users set up under that particular location. If you need to, you can use the search bar at the top of the screen to go ahead and search and narrow down your choices. Here, I can see I have now pulled up the extension that is labeled Product Manager. I can see it is an extension-only seat that has extension 1504 assigned to it. It's associated with this phone model, and it is a premium license. If I need to look at additional information about this particular seat, I can select on the three dots to the right of the display, and that will provide me with additional options and choices. Here I can see I can edit the user, I can look at the features associated with that particular user, I can look at their voicemail settings, reset any passwords required, adjust call forwarding settings, enable or disable Do Not Disturb, look at their remote office settings, simultaneous ringing, shared call appearance, and busy lamp field. You can also adjust the privacy settings and anywhere features that are associated with that particular user. When I select on the Edit Users option, it is going to take me into the main configuration screen for this particular user. Here, I can see the first and last name associated with this user. I can put an email address in, a mobile number, so that they will populate within the corporate directory. Here, I can see that this user does not currently have a DID, but is assigned extension 15040. License type is premium, and then there is a phone model that's already associated. The remaining areas here are hard-coded on the back end of the configuration and aren't necessary for you to make any adjustments to. Calling line ID, first name and last name, is what is going to be outpulsed on a per extension basis for calls within your enterprise. This is also going to show what the calling line ID phone number is for this particular user if it is not controlled at the group level. The voicemail server is chosen by default as a part of your implementation, and here we'll give you the ability to tell it to use the user's calling line ID or the group calling line ID information when sending an outbound call. You can also enable international dialing for a particular user from within the screen. Up top, I have the ability to select on the User Features tab. This is going to be similar to the options we saw pop out of the Actions button when we were looking at the user on the main page. Here, this will show me the premium seat is assigned to this particular user, and then all license features that are enabled as a part of this user's calling line plan. So this will show you at a high level everything included with this particular seat. If that user has any additional features, they would be selected down below, and then you can go in and configure them if needed to. When I select on the Voicemail tab at the top of the screen, it is going to take me into the voicemail settings for this particular user. Here, I can see that voice management is enabled for this user, and it is currently set to send their busy and unanswered calls to voicemail. If this user was locked out of their voice portal, I have the ability to update their passcode from within this administrative application. When selecting Update Passcode, it will provide you with what the passcode rules are to give you a new password to access the voice portal. This will be a temporary password, as the user is prompted to adjust their voicemail password upon their next login. Here, on the right-hand side of the page, I can see how my voicemail messages will be delivered to me. You can choose to have them sent to the voice portal or to your email address. If you select on Send to Voice Portal, you also have the ability to send an email carbon copy to a particular email address. So if you would like to receive your voicemails in both locations, you can do so. If you only wish to have them sent to your email, please be sure to select on the Send to Email option, as then it won't deliver it to your voicemail box where your mailbox could get full. Down below here, I can see if the caller presses 0, transfer the call to. We discussed earlier how this can be set at the group level. If you need to override the group settings, you can input whatever extension you like here, and then select on the Actions button to the right here to save any of those changes. Down below, you can see the greeting options that are available for this particular user. Greetings are typically handled at the user level, but if there is a need, you can manage those at the administrative level as well. Here I can verify my settings, and I can choose to disable message deposit if I do not wish for that user to receive any voicemail messages. Once that is selected, you can choose to have it disconnect that call after the greeting plays, or forward that call after the greeting to another location that you input here, or external telephone number. Here, I can see that my busy greeting is currently playing the default option. If I wish to customize that voicemail greeting, I can select on the custom option, and then I have the ability to click here to browse to look for a particular file that I would like to use. If there's already greetings that are uploaded that I am able to use, they would populate within this drop-down box here, and I could choose to add one of the many custom messages that are already available. It would be the same process to adjust that for your no answer greeting as well. Be sure to select on the Actions button and save any changes if you make any adjustments to the settings on this page. Under the Call Forwarding tab, it will allow me to adjust my call forwarding settings. Here I can see that my call forward always is disabled. If I select on this, it will give me the ability to add in the extension or external telephone number that I would like to forward those calls to. You can also have it play a ring reminder on your physical phone to let you know that your calls are forwarding at that time in the case that you may have forgotten. You also have the ability to adjust your call forward busy or no answer destinations. As a default, those are already set to go to the voicemail system. If you override here, your calls will not roll to voicemail. One of the last and most important features of your cloud phone system is going to be the call forward unreachable setting. And this is a pre-programmed telephone number that you can have your calls automatically forwarded to if your device is not available. That unavailability could be because of a power outage or a fiber cut or whatever it was. So if there's a telephone number that is already programmed in here, in the event that your phone is not available, it will automatically reroute those calls to that location for you. The last item on this page is going to be the call forward selective option. This is for any of the rules-based forwarding options that are available with your premium seat. If you need to block a call or anything like that, the rules can all be created within this screen. The call forward selective option can also be activated and adjusted within the DCT Personal Service Portal as well at the user level. Simultaneous Ring is a feature that allows a user to have it ring their desk phone and up to 10 other devices simultaneously. We do find this is most commonly used in a one-to-one scenario while ringing the user's desk phone and their cell phone simultaneously. To enable this feature, just select on the radio button and then edit the telephone number within the field below. Once the phone number is entered, you can then select to utilize the answer confirmation required option. What this does is plays a quick message to say, press any key to answer this call from the phone system. So that way you can differentiate whether that user called you direct on a cell phone or that user possibly called through the phone system itself. Be sure to select on the Actions key to enable this feature if you wish to utilize it. Shared call appearance and busy user lamp field are going to be settings that are set up at the time of activation for you. If they were not set up at the time of activation and you wish to utilize these features, please contact the DCT Customer Service Center, as there is some back-end configuration work often necessary to have these settings work in the way you wish. The User Privacy Settings tab will allow for a user to choose whether or not they would like to be active in the dial by name directory and if their extension should be available to be dialed through an auto attendant, and if you would allow for anyone to see your status if you choose to be private. One of the most common items administrators are required to change are passwords when a user is locked out of their voicemail or applications. On the main user menu, when you go to the user's page and select on the three dots to the right of their name, it will pull up the option for the Reset Password screen. Once selected on that, you'll see it's going to provide you with the ability to set a new application password or voice portal password. The voice portal password can be changed from this screen or within the voicemail tab within the user's profile. Same password requirements will apply. Here, you can adjust the application password. This is the password that is used to gain access to the DCT personal web portal. Any other applications like UC1, call center applications, or the web receptionist will also require this. This password does require that you utilize both uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and a special character. The next topic we will be reviewing is music on hold. This will allow you to configure and manage your music on hold settings for your enterprise. Here, I can see that I am enabling music on hold for when a call is on hold or when it is parked, and it is currently using our default music option. If I wish to use a custom option, I can select on the custom field and I can select to browse and look for the file that I wish to use, and then go ahead and label it and save it. Or if I've already uploaded my different options, I can easily go ahead and select from a different music on hold source that is already available within my enterprise. You can also adjust your music on hold at the department level if you are using them. When I select here to expand, I can have a different music on hold source play for a particular department over what the enterprise is doing. This is often used for different advertising on hold and messages and options that are available. When I select on the Actions button, I am presented with three choices: Create, Save, and Reset. Save will save any changes that I made, and Create is going to give you the ability to add a new department with a new custom music on hold source. The next topic we will be reviewing are schedules. Here's where you can create and manage any time schedules that are created within your enterprise. Time schedules can be created at two different levels. One would be the enterprise, so it can be used across all locations. The other would be the group, so it's only used for the location that you are currently working in. If I select on the radio button to show enterprise level schedules, it will show me all schedules that are built across my enterprise. Here I can see I have two enterprise level schedules, and then I also have two group level schedules. Time schedules are built on either a business hours or after hours schedule or a holiday schedule. So from within this menu, I can see the schedules that are affiliated with the holidays or everyday regular time schedules. If I need to make an adjustment or change to any of my existing holidays, all I need to do is select on the three buttons to the right of that schedule's name and select Edit Schedule. When you select Edit Schedule, it is going to take you into that existing schedule. Here I can see that it is titled Business Hours Schedule, it's built at the group level, and it is a business hours menu. Here I can see the times that are associated with this particular schedule. It is open from 9 to 5 on Mondays, 8 to 5 Tuesday through Friday, and 8 to 3 on Saturdays. If this business was going to say close at Saturday hours, all I have to do is select on the red X and it's going to remove that time slot from the schedule. I can then select on the Actions button to save those changes. If I need to create a new schedule for some reason, I can select on the Actions button here and select the plus button to go ahead and add that schedule. When going in, it will prompt me to label that with a name, choose whether I want to build it at the enterprise or the group level, and then choose whether it was a business hours, after hours, or holiday schedule. Once you select on the days, it will pull up the time slots that are available for you to select within. You can then go ahead and make any adjustments or changes to that time schedule before going ahead and saving or discarding your changes. I'm going to go back into the main screen for the remainder of this. Here I want to look at our holiday schedules. When I select on the holiday schedule option, I can see I already have a holiday schedule built, but I need to add an additional day onto this schedule. When I select on the 3 dots, it gives me the ability to edit my schedule. I can see that this location is going to be closed on Christmas, Memorial Day, and New Year's Day. Well, due to how the holidays fall, they will also be closing on Christmas Eve. So when I select on Add Schedule Entry, I can type in the name of the location or of the holiday and then select using the calendar that's built in to select the date. When I select my start date, it does require I put in an end date, and then I can choose to have this happen for a particular amount of time, or I can make it an all-day event. Now, when I select on my Actions button, it will allow me to save my changes, and now it's added Christmas Eve into my holiday schedule. It's important to realize all the schedules are applied in different locations of your system, whether that is an auto attendant or a hunt group. If you plan to adjust your holiday schedules, you want to be sure to edit the existing schedules that are in place. If you add a new schedule, it will not be applied in the correct areas that it needs to be, and then often will not work. The next topic we will be reviewing are hunt groups. When I select on the Manage button, it is going to take me into the screen where I can manage and create hunt groups for my enterprise. For the purposes of our training, we will be editing an existing hunt group, but you can select on the Actions button and select the plus sign to go ahead and add a hunt group if you need to enable a new one. Otherwise, I will be selecting on the 3 dots to the right of the mainline group to go ahead and edit the existing group available. When I select on that, it is going to pull up 4 options for me: Edit Settings, Edit Users, Deactivate, and Delete. Deactivate will leave the hunt group built, but it will not be in commission, and Delete will remove it permanently. We're going to go to the Edit Settings tab first, and here I can see the basic information about my hunt group. The name of it is Mainline, the hunt group ID, which is grayed out because it's configured on the back end, and then the group policy. So right now this is currently configured as a simultaneous hunt group. There are other call patterns that you can select from within this drop-down box here. Circular is a round-robin hunt, and it's going to start wherever the hunt last ended. Regular is more of a top-down list-based routing, so it'll always start with the one specific user first before moving on to the other agents. Uniform is going to present that call to the longest idle agent, so whoever hasn't had a call in the longest amount of time. So those are the different types of group policy that you can apply to a hunt group. If I wanted to affiliate this hunt group within a department for a specific music on hold option, I can select from within the drop-down box and I can apply a department to it if I wish to do so. Here I can see the time zone that is associated with this and the extension number. I don't have a direct line ringing to this group, but oftentimes there will be a phone number that is input in this field. My calling line ID, first name and last name, is what's going to present to the user that is a member of that hunt group when they receive a call. For example, this is called mainline hunt group, so any calls that are presented to me as a user in that group are going to say mainline in addition to that user's caller ID. Down below, I can see an alternate numbers option. If I had multiple telephone numbers that I needed to point at this hunt group, I can select this checkbox and I can add those additional telephone numbers. Hunt groups do not come with voicemail out of the box. It is an add-on unified messaging mailbox that will provide voicemail access for this. If that is enabled, you can have a voicemail box associated with your particular hunt group. Call forward selective is the time of day routing that can be added onto this hunt group as well. And then allow call waiting is just going to give you the ability to have your agents receive more than one call at a time. The no answer settings will control how a call is going to route through your hunt group, in addition to the group policy. Depending on what option you selected within group policy, different options will apply. In the situation that you chose anything other than simultaneous, skip to the next agent after 2 rings would be an important feature. This way, if the call is presented to an agent that is not available to take a call, it will only try to ring them 2 times before rolling over to the next available agent. This can be adjusted by utilizing the arrows within that option. On a simultaneous call, it's probably most important that you set a timer for that call to forward after waiting so many seconds. Right now, I have a setting that is going to forward that call after waiting 36 seconds. Every ring cycle is about 6 seconds, so after 6 rings, my call is going to forward to extension 55555. In addition to the no answer settings, you also have a not reachable setting. So just like we saw on the user level, where a phone is not reachable, it can reroute that call to another destination. That can also be preset at the hunt group level. I can enable the call forwarding not reachable, and I can type in the phone number of where I would like that to route to. I can also tell it to make the hunt group busy when all devices are not reachable. This way, in the case of an outage, my calls are automatically going to reroute to this external telephone number, and I can still service my calls. Under calling line ID settings, I can choose to use the default calling line ID configuration currently included in the hunt group name. This way, it's going to present to you what group that call is coming in on when presenting that call in addition to the caller's caller ID. As always, don't forget to select on the Actions button to save any changes you may have made. The next tab on the top is going to be the user screen. Here it will show me the users that are currently assigned to the mainline hunt group. If I need to go ahead and add in an additional user, I'm going to select on the Add Users button in the bottom corner of my screen. When I select on that, I can filter by the following criteria: none, a location, or a department. If I would like to only pull up users within the DCT training option, I'm going to select on location and then select DCT training. Here it is only going to pull in the users that are associated with that particular group. I can select on product manager and project manager and then save them, and they will now populate into the hunt group to take calls for this particular group. If I need to remove a user out of this hunt group, all I need to do is select on the little trash can that's next to that person's name, and it's going to ask me if I would like to remove the user from the hunt group. I can select remove, and now I can see there are only 4 members in my group. The last tab is the call forward tab. Here I can see that there is no call forwarding turned on, but in this scenario that I needed to call forward this hunt group to another location, I can select enable and enter in the extension or external telephone number. Very similar to what we experienced at the user level for all call forwarding options. The next item we will be reviewing are auto attendants. When I select Configure on the Auto Attendance tile, it would pull up a listing of any configured auto attendants for my enterprise. Currently, I have one test example created. Here, I can see the name of it is Customer Service Test. It is an extension-only auto attendant, meaning there's no direct dial number associated with this particular menu. It has an extension, and it is active on my system. When I select on the three dots to the right of the display, I can see that it shows me an additional menu: Settings, Menus, Voicemail Settings, Deactivate, and Delete. If I were to select Delete, this would remove this auto attendant from my system permanently. If I were to select the Deactivate option, this would deactivate the automated attendant, leaving it built within the system for me to activate at a later date. The voicemail settings will be similar to what we have seen in hunt groups as well as users, and only be present since there is a voicemail box that is active for this particular automated attendant. When I select on the settings option, it will take me into the main settings for that particular auto attendant. Here I can see the name associated with it, what the auto attendant ID is, if it is affiliated with a particular department, the time zone that it is enabled in, if there is a direct dial number directed at this auto attendant or just an extension number, the first name calling line ID and last name calling line ID, language associated with this menu, if there is a business work hours schedule applied, a holiday schedule applied, what the transfer timeout to the operator is going to be. I also can see what the scope of the extension and name dialing are going to be. Here I can see extension dialing is set to enterprise, but can be narrowed down to department or group as well. The scope of name dialing is set to the enterprise as well, but can also be adjusted to encompass only department or group. The name dialing entries will also allow for you to choose to enter in last name plus first name or first name plus last name, whatever your personal preference is. If additional telephone numbers needed to be directed at this automated attendant, the checkbox would be enabled here for alternate telephone numbers. This allows me to route additional phone numbers the same as I would the main number associated with this menu. Here I can see that voicemail is enabled for this auto attendant menu. And if I needed to do any special time of day call forwarding, I could select the checkbox here to enable that feature on this auto attendant. When I select on the menus option, it will take me to an additional screen where I can choose to edit the business hours or after hours menu. When selecting edit, it will take me into a screen that provides me with the ability to choose whether or not I would like to use the default or custom greeting for this particular menu. Here I can see I am currently using a custom greeting with a custom announcement that I've already uploaded. In the case that you need to upload a new greeting, you can select here to click and browse, or you have the ability to drag and drop those greetings into the announcement box. Here, I can see that I've enabled first level extension dialing. This is what provides you with the ability to dial an extension as soon as the menu prompt picks up. Oftentimes, you will hear in a greeting, if you know the extension of the party you wish to reach, you may dial it at any time. This is a feature that provides you with that capability. Here, I can see options 0 through 9 are available to be programmed, as well as the star and pound sign. Here, I can select from a drop-down within the action button and select how I would like to route that call. Right now, I am choosing to transfer without a prompt with a description of 16952 and an extension of 16952. All calls when 0 is pressed is going to route over into this extension. If I needed to choose additional options, such as a dial by name directory, I can select in the Actions dropdown and choose Name Dialing. This will provide me the ability to add a description, and now I can see that that is a dial by name directory option that is available. In the dropdown as well, there is a Transfer to Operator option. This is what's used if a caller does not select any option. Transfer to operator will take the user and send them directly over to that particular extension. As always, be sure to select on the Actions button and save any changes that you may have made within the menu itself. The same options we just reviewed are also available within the After Hours menu. The After Hours menu is going to handle any calls that are directed there in After Hours or Holiday mode. When selecting Edit, you will see that this screen is going to look identical to the screen we just looked at, and you can customize things in a different way for business hours and after hours scheduling. If voicemail is enabled on the Auto Attendant menu that you are using, you can select on the Voicemail tab and you will see a similar screen to what we've already experienced within the different settings in Hunt groups as well as users. Same goes for the call forwarding options that are available. These can be edited and adjusted from within here if calls need to forward to a different location for any period of time. This concludes our DCT Service Manager Portal Basic Training session. As always, our customer support team is available 24 hours a day. If you need any assistance at any time, please utilize the contact information on the screen to reach out to our customer support team. We are happy to help in any way we can. Thank you.